Hi, my name is Caitlin, and I'm short.
I'm Luke Thomas, and we're about to interview Caitlin Conley for a short film. All right, you comfortable there? Phone books good? All right.
Yeah.
Here you go, just in preparation. Just watching out for you.
Thank you.
All right, so why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah. My name is Caitlin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm 20 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm short.
All right, it's very good. It's going to be perfect for this film here. So,
Yeah.
all right. First of all, when did you first realize that you were different?
I would probably say it was around the time that I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and all these childhood friends that I'd grown up with, you know, I finally realized I didn't even come up to their belly buttons, you know?
All right, well, okay, I can see you're getting emotional. Why don't we go to something a little more light? How are things at home growing up? And how are things now with your brothers and sisters?
Yeah, well, growing up, childhood wasn't that hard, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was always taller than everybody, you know, than my brother and
Right.
my sisters, and till probably about, I'd say my brother turned about 12,
Mm-hmm.
and then he just really started to shoot past me, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
now, you know, I have to deal with a little bit of bullying, you know, almost from Michael and Buddy, because, you
And
know,
how old are they, Michael and Buddy?
Buddy is 9, about
Okay.
to turn 9 actually,
All right.
and Michael is 7.
All right.
But, you know, they think that because they're bigger than me, then,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they can just push me around.
Right. Okay. And how do you cope with that? Is there that kind of that animosity with your brothers and sisters just because you are not like them, you know? Because you're the odd one out.
Yeah. Well, for years, I think there was that kind of tension, that anger towards them.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got older, you know, I just decided to be the bigger person. You know?
You did, huh?
Yeah.
You decided to be the bigger person.
Yes, I did. I did.
Okay.
You did?
Anyway.
Okay.
No, yeah, okay. So you're kind of like Joseph, except like short and without the dreams and being sold. And they just make fun of you because you're a tiny person.
Yeah, they didn't have to dig the well that deep in my case. You
Right.
know.
Gotcha. Anyway,
That's
moving
wrong.
on. Where do you shop? Because I could imagine how difficult that would be. Not really, but I'm sure.
It's actually
is.
not that difficult, you
Really?
know. I go to Walmart, you know, for like my PJs, you know, a onesie works perfectly, you
Yeah.
know, and they're really cheap there.
Yeah.
So PJs easy to get, Baby Owl, Walmart, not a problem.
Right.
You know, but for my more day-to-day wear, I have found Babies R Us to be a lifesaver. I mean, they've definitely come out with like some more hip and cool baby line and you know, baby lines, if you will. So, you know, for day-to-day wear, I shop at Babies R Us.
Yeah, very nice.
They should have titled this the Caitlin aisle. I'm cute. I'm a great catch. Look at it, it's so cute for little bitty Caitlin. Oh, blues.
What do you think about the colors of this dress? Do they complement my complexion?
We're a little large. Caitlin could save money on a car. It's just her size.
I need a new car seat. I'm looking for one with a 5-point harness because those are safer. Of course. This one looks comfy. It has headrest.
I don't think she'll ever be promoted to not have to wear the children's seats.
Well, you know, Florida state law, 100 pounds or less has to be in the car seat.
Like these
I
beauties.
don't like this one.
I don't think she'll get these beauties ever.
This one?
These? Nope, too big for her. Ooh, look at those hats. Put it on.
What is the little...
How can you reach the top level?
I had to stretch. I have to stretch every day because, you know, I have to do it so often.
Because Caitlin is afraid of drowning in a normal tub, she gets to pick a tub of what color she wants.
What color?
I don't know. I kind of favoring this one right now. This color pink speaks to me.
Matches your pink skin. Small, big. Small, big.
So one thing that's actually true about this is my shoes, because I'm wearing size 2 Toms right now.
Like men's size 2 or like women's size 2?
Kids size 2.
What roller coasters can you ride?
Funny story, actually. You know, we were at Disney, and I thought for sure that I'd be able to ride the, you know, Aladdin's Magic Carpet ride.
Mhm.
You know, I've seen kids on there all the time. But when I got up there, they told me, yeah, I could ride it, but only if I sat in my mom's lap. You know, I was 18 years old at the time, and that was really demeaning.
Mhm.
So, you know, I told my parents, you know, I don't want to go on this. I don't want to look like a 2-year-old. And so we decided It's a Small World was going to be a win. You know, it's a small world.
Obviously.
Well, when we got there, they said I wasn't tall enough. There were concerns that because I had to stand up to see that I'd fall out of the boat.
I see.
So what they did instead was they gave me the walking tour. You know, they even taught me some of the choreography, so as I walked through, I could just blend right in.
Oh, you'd fit right in.
Oh,
There you
yeah.
go.
It was perfect.
Very nice. Now, another question about just how you work through your life is the phone book issue. And I see that right now you've got about 28 phone books
Yeah.
under there. And so how many generally do you think you need? Like how many in mass quantity? How much phone books do you need to just go through your daily life?
Day to day, you know, it's not that bad. You know, it's not that many. We only have one a month delivered to the house. You know, sometimes you get it bi-weekly, just depending on what I'm doing, you know, that week. But they last a pretty long time, so we can store them up. I mean, we've got like
Right.
30 in the shed right now.
Cool.
You know, I think I single-handedly keep the phone book in business.
Right.
Phone book
That's
industry.
good.
Yeah.
All right. No silos in the backyard.
No, not yet.
Warehouses.
Not
Yeah.
yet. Not
Okay.
yet.
Not yet. All right. Eventually. Possibly. Well, talking about how much more you would need, if you would need a warehouse, it would probably be when you have a family.
Oh, yeah.
So with this family, I wouldn't say issue, but with this family thing coming up, probably sometime in the near future, would you be looking for a husband who's around your size, or do you expect something else?
I thought about that question a lot, you know.
Mhm.
You know, it's a very important question.
Right.
And, you know, I thought at first, I was like, you know, I shouldn't judge somebody based on their height, because, you know, I'm short too.
You are. You
But
definitely are.
the more that I thought about it, you know,
Yeah.
I want my children to be able to grow up taller than, you know, the height of my knee.
Right.
So, I don't want to have to look under a microscope to see my
Right.
newborn
That would be a
child.
problem.
So I decided, you know, I think a taller guy would definitely be better. Just,
Yes.
I think it would be
As
better.
long as you don't explode during pregnancy.
Well, yeah.
Because
of
that,
course.
you know, spontaneous human eruption would be a problem there.
Well, yeah. I mean, there are methods though.
But you
doctors
don't-
are really
Right.
really good these days.
Yeah. But you just don't want to have that, your issues, passed down to your children.
Exactly.
Because, and going through that, have you, looking ahead to the future, do you think that what kind of things have you gone through to like, try to fix this problem that you have?
That's a very good question. You know, when I first realized I was short, around 16, you know, and there was that moment of panic of like, how am I going to be normal?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I tried a lot of different things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I started out with like 5-inch heels, you know, those almost doubled my height.
That's good.
You know, so it
Yeah.
worked for a while, but
Mhm.
after a while, you know, it kills your ankles.
Right.
So then, you know, I found a little bit of success with stilts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I bought like a regular length pair of jeans, you couldn't even tell I was wearing them.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, just your calves, they become hard as rock, and then they're
Right.
killing you and killing you.
Yeah.
So that didn't really work either.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about this that I hear about, the stretching machine?
The stretching machine.
Yeah, and the history in the Middle Ages is a torture device.
Yeah. Well, now, as you know, they use it to stretch people
Right.
with my problem.
Mhm.
And I even booked an appointment.
Mhm.
You know, I got to that point where I was just so desperate that, and I was sitting there. I was in the waiting room, and I just couldn't do it.
Mm.
I just heard the people screaming.
Mhm. Well, it did work for Philip Mole. So I mean, you could have done it with him. It would be like, you know, friends hanging out, getting taller together, like a bonding experience. But anyway, I mean, so you only have yourself to blame for that. Anyway, now what kind of terminology, coming on a less controversial note, what kind of offensive things have you heard yourself called? Like, what kind of discrimination comes into play just because that you're superbly shorter than every single other person that you've ever seen in your life?
Gosh, just the labels are
Mhm.
unending. Short, midget, munchkin,
Mhm.
you know, elf.
Those are pretty good.
I mean, around Christmas time, it's awful. Everybody is giving me their Christmas list or something.
Yeah.
Like, I can do something about it.
Mhm.
The discrimination is horrible.
Mhm.
I have been denied jobs
Yeah.
because of my height. You know, on the other hand, and there are some people that are understanding, but for the most part, you know, you get those looks, those laughs, those
Yeah.
cheers from, you know,
Mhm.
children who are 2 years old, and, you know, it's all over
Well,
me.
you know, some people, Dave, get offended when I say that they are certain things. But what do you think would be the right thing to call you instead of like a midget or a munchkin or someone who's like inhumanly small?
I personally, you know, and I can't speak for all people with my issue, I prefer the term fun size.
Okay,
personally.
that's good. So, you know, packing a punch with the candy code here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, do you? I mean, I'm sure that you had plenty of favorite movies as a child, but did you relate to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids more
Oh, yeah.
as
I love that movie. I really felt like that movie just spoke to me. You know, I could really identify with those main characters, and I felt their struggles and their troubles. You know, because I deal with that on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. And the cereal probably almost getting eaten in the cereal. And we know Timothy's appetite is, you know, the multiple bowls. Yes, on
Oh,
a daily
yeah.
basis. Did you have to like fix up a color-coded schedule based upon what kind of cereal was in your cabinet at the time?
We tried that, but you know,
Yeah.
like Fruity Pebbles, they're every color of the rainbow.
Right.
So
Hard to avoid.
yeah, exactly. So I started wearing like flashing, like, you know, the shirts that people wear when they ride bikes at night,
Yeah.
like with lights flashing.
Yeah.
We're working on that right now. We're trying that out.
Okay. Because you were like literally a walking hazard,
Yeah, I
a
know.
disaster waiting to happen,
I know it's
a
big
catastrophe. Like a catastrophe. Destruction of an entire family because you are so small.
I know.
Right. Anyway, moving on. Do you harbor any kind of animosity towards either parent because they are part of the reason for why you are so small?
At first, you know, of course, you have to blame somebody,
Mhm.
you know, and your parents are going to be the first person. You know, they're the people that
Right.
made you.
And how did that make you feel?
It made me feel really small.
Yeah, I could imagine that. But did you eventually find forgiveness
I did.
in that?
You know, now
That's
my
good.
parents and I have a great relationship. You know, they love helping me out when I can't reach something,
Mhm.
or,
Good.
you know, if I can't find something on the counters, you know,
Yeah.
because I obviously can't see over them.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
they're great with helping with that.
But do you now to this day, do you ever get short with them? You know.
well, obviously it's going to happen. You know, I was
Yeah.
born that way.
Right.
It's
Very
going to
true.
happen.
All right. So, when you meet someone new, obviously one of the main things they're going to ask you is, "Holy crap, she's a midget," and they're going to ask you, "How tall are you?" Which is your preferred method? Is it centimeters or inches? Because centimeters adds the effect that, number one, it's more numbers, higher numbers, and no one has any idea what that means.
That is a very good question.
Yeah.
But actually, the way I figure it is, you know, it depends if they're American or European.
Very true.
Because if they're European, you know, you can tell them your height in inches, and they have no clue. They have no
Right,
clue what
very
that
true.
is. You know, if they're American, you can tell them in centimeters, and
Very
they have
true.
no clue what that is.
Very
So it works out. You know, everybody's happy.
Yeah, good. So, would you qualify yourself as a dwarf or a midget?
Oh, no. No, 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 no. Definitely not.
Not, just no.
No.
No, certainly not.
I personally prefer to align myself with the leprechauns.
Oh, okay.
That Irish blood.
All right. And has Zachary Moser contacted you about this alignment?
Not so far, but I imagine after
Okay.
making this documentary, I'll be
You
hearing.
probably will.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, also, have you ever ridden a horse, or are you more like a miniature pony kind of person?
Have you ever tried to get on a horse?
Yes, I have.
It's rather difficult, isn't it?
I would suppose so, in someone in your circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, when you can only see like just past their hoof, it's really hard to like swing your leg over.
Right.
So I would definitely have to say mini pony.
Okay. Now, I would understand that hats, we only recently, I expect, was when your arms were able to reach the top of your head.
Well, that's still a struggle.
Right.
You know, so it depends on how
Uh-huh.
well stretched I am that day. You know, hats add height, so
Right.
I definitely try to wear them as much as possible.
Mhm.
The top hats really help. You know, I
Mhm.
really wish those would come back in style.
Yeah.
But they are a struggle. So it's like some days I got it, some days I don't. You know, sometimes my family, they're really helpful, and occasionally, if I need it, they'll help me out putting a hat on my head.
Right. Okay. So, are you, in numerical value, which is larger, your age or your size?
Give me just a second. I'm gonna think about that.
Okay.
My age.
Okay.
Mhm.
Still?
Yeah.
All right. So maybe one day you can have the victory of overcoming that, maybe. And I hope that you would come and let us know.
Oh, of course.
Good.
Of course.
All right. So, which do you think is taller? You, Todd, or Todd's guitar?
While it's close,
Mm-hmm.
I distinctly remember not being Todd or I being able to reach the top of Todd's guitar.
Okay. That's good. Well, So, do you think that part of why you are here, and part of why, maybe in rationalizing why you are this way, it would be to make other people who are short feel better about themselves and not being as short as you. For example, wow, I'm pretty short, but at least I'm not Caitlin. Like that.
No. I would definitely say that the reason that I'm coming forward today, and admitting this, is to give hope to the people who are as short as me or shorter than me, to give them hope that they can live a normal life. That it may be a struggle, that you can get through it with help and love and support. There are support groups. For people who need counseling.
Short People Anonymous?
Yeah, I'm always willing to talk with somebody who's going through what I go through
Right.
on a day-to-day basis.
Well, another question I wanted to ask is, now that you're just coming out with this, and I know that you were a closet midget for so long, and that you were very secretive about your height, it's a big step towards
It is.
dealing with this and getting over it, and first admitting, wow, I am so short, you know? And so have you found more recently in admitting this and coming to grips with this fact that maybe big things do come in small packages?
Oh yes, yes, they do.
Mhm.
They definitely do.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive about that.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. So how about, let me give you a little example here. So you know what the Empire State Building is, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay, good.
Everybody does.
And do you know how big like a little muffin wrapper is, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay. Do you think that you could fit the Empire State Building in one of those muffin wrappers?
Depends on how many muffin wrappers.
Okay. So you would say, that's not really logical. Maybe big things don't come in small packages because something big wouldn't fit.
You know they do have like Empire State Building keychains. I mean that would easily fit into a muffin cup. Easily.
That is a good point. All right. So I'd really like to thank you for being here. And do you have anything else that you'd like to say to people who are going through this like you are?
To people who are dealing with, my struggle, I just like to say keep on, press on. Always remember that people will go out of their way to help you if they know you're struggling. You know, look at this. You see this set of keys? This is my hope. And these are the kind things that people have done to help me out. You know, when I couldn't hold my house key because it was too big, they gladly made me keys that I can carry around. You know,
good.
and there are people like that everywhere. All
Right.
you have to do is find the right ones.
That's very good. All right. Well, Caitlin, thank you very much for being on the show with me. Have a great day and a short life. I mean, a good life. And thank you for being on with me.